before they ever wind up going out to the garden, ours or anyone else's, these little seedlings have to be taken care of. They have to be fed, they have to be watered, and we've really only got two ways to provide them with fertilizer. One is, of course, duck water. That takes care of fertilizer and irrigation both at the same time, but it is a limited supply of duck water. I can always process the water through the duck pond and bring the line out here to do irrigation. That's eventually the goal, is to do irrigation with the used duck water, top off the water in the duck tank. Anyway, in the meantime, we've been making do with worms. These worms, to be precise. Boy, ooh, let's get that lid off of there. Wow, looky there. Okay, I showed you guys this setup a while back. I believe. I was feeding the worms, showing how you can feed them weeds, and of course occasionally, yeah, you do have seeds that pop up, but it's a dark environment. You just knock them back with your rake. They decompose. It's more stuff for the worms to eat. There's a patch of weeds there. And, oh, yeah, see, there's little guys scampering around. They're finding decomposing bits that they can feast on. There's more scurrying away into the darkness. There's three. I saw another one, but he moved. Okay, there we go. So this time of year, we've got the little babies. Oh, I dropped one. We got the little babies running around. Sorry, little babies running around, eating on the goodies that we left for them. But this is also a good time to harvest all of the worm castings. And they like to push the stuff that they aren't eating, including the castings, to the surface. And this makes it really convenient to gather them together, maybe sort out some of the worms that are in there so we don't take too many of those with us. And that goes out to fertilize our young seedlings. And of course that's great. But after a couple of harvests, you wind up with the bin looking like this one here. I apologize. Scoot this over here for you so you can have a look. And as you can see here, we've harvested a lot of worm castings. So we're still feeding, but we don't have much left. There's the worms at the very edge. Worm cocoons. Alright. There's a little hardy adventurer living on the edge. Alright. We need to refill our bedding, and that means we need to get busy sifting some wood chips. And here we are on the north side garden. Having a look around. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. We're going to have to recharge the walkway, it looks like. Well, that'll take some fresh wood chips. And as fortune has it, here's our sifting operation right here. Now, the working is simple enough. We have this contraption right here, which is actually for spreading peat moss. But peat moss and fine wood chips have about the same consistency, so it works perfectly for separating the coarse stuff from the fine stuff. All we got to do is back the truck up. Next up, we take our wood chips that we got from the local green waste disposal site for free. Pop just a few of those in there. You don't want to fill it all the way in. And then close the spreader. Just like that. And from here, sifting wood chips is very, very easy. All I have to do is push the peat moss spreader across the rails and push it back and forth, and the fines will fall right out. Now some of them are going to get on the rail. You'll notice an accumulation on the rail as I go back and forth. You can also see I can do this one-handed, two-handed, it doesn't matter. Back and forth, sifting wood chips. And what I'm looking for is for the larger pieces to begin falling out. Whenever larger pieces begin falling, then I know that we've got most of the fines sifted. It'll be time to open up the cage, dump out the coarse chips for walkways and things of that nature, making charcoal so you can put them into your charcoal or make charcoal out of them for biochar. Lots of things you can do with the large pieces. But the fines are accumulating there, and you'll see it's quite a few of them that we've accumulated whenever I get done with this process. Very easy to do. Very easy. You don't have to strain yourself. Okay. Perfect. So now that we've got this thing rolled back and forth a few times, unlatch it, have a look inside. What you find is nice coarse stuff that'll go great in the walkway. This is how much we get per load. It's actually a fairly decent amount. That's from running the sifter once. Do about this much. Rock and piece of gravel here already. All right. Next thing we want to do is we can't put this to worms immediately the way it is, so get it hydrated. Pick it up, toss it in this bucket here, which we just let get rained in the other day, so that's rainwater is full of. And we got rainwater and leaves and bark and other such wonderful stuff. I'm just going to combine the two together. I'm thinking probably two loads ought to be enough to replace the chips that we used up. Sounds about right. A little bit more. Now the nice thing about using these sifted fines for bedding is they hold a lot of moisture by themselves and make good bedding in that way. But because there is an awful lot of decomposable organic matter in those fines, leaves, bark, that sort of thing, it's going to rapidly become a food source for the worms as well. And they will definitely take advantage of it. It's one of the reasons why you can leave the bed like that over the winter and not bother feeding them only feed them your weeds and your scraps. I mean, literally, I feed them weeds and scraps, and this is the bedding that they get. This right here is how I make it. I mean, it is about the easiest thing in the world, right? Get your peat moss spreader. You order one off of Amazon. You get it from a home and garden center too, for that matter. Just make sure that you got it set up on rails or blocks. I did with blocks last year, and that you have enough space so that all your fines are going to land either on the rails or in between them. If you do not do this, then you'll wind up having material falling outside of the rails, and it'll be harder for you to sweep up and contain. You want to make things easy for yourself. This is also the reason why, although this spreader certainly has enough capacity that I could fill it with more than 3 or 4 scoops. I will not do so. Because 3 or 4, especially when they're moist, is plenty. Okie dokie, here we are. We've had 48 hours pass, and a little thunderstorm went by. That's kind of cool. And we're going to take our wood chip fines, which are right here, that have been soaked in duck water and rainwater and left to get good and hydrated. We're going to take these, we're going to transfer them to worm bin. Now, they are a bit on the moist side right now, perhaps even too moist. So, on our way to filling the worm bin, make sure we don't have any little voyagers trying to escape there. Okay, we're good. The way to recharging the worm bin, which we depleted, we need to strain out the excess moisture. Here we go. We're just going to take all of our fines. They're soaked in rainwater, duck manure, and the like. There's quite a bit of grit in there as well. So all of the things that the worms need, organic matter that is on its way to decaying with the nitrate provided by that duck manure, grit, form of small gravel, things of that nature. We just want to make sure that it's not too wet before we put it in. When we're satisfied with the moisture content, I can take these chips, carefully introduce them to that side right there. So that is moistened, somewhat duck-pooed wood chip fines. I think we're going to go ahead and do one more. Alright, so we started out with our arborist wood chips that we picked up there at the local greenway site. Brought them home, ran it through a sifting process. I used a peat moss spreader and a couple of rails. You can rewind back and watch that bit. Took our fines, put them in a tub, and then soaked them with some rainwater and some excess from the duck pond. And left that for about 48 hours so they got all soaked through. And we drained out as much as we could, gave it one final last draining process before putting it in here to replace the bedding that we've removed, which is now mostly all worm castings. We've moved the food over to the side here where it's all new beddings. The food's over here, the bedding's over here. The only thing that's left in this corner over here is their old worm castings. So hopefully they'll get the hint and go over there, or go from over here to into where the new bedding is and where the food is. If they do that, then we'll be harvesting mostly just castings from this far corner here in about another 24 hours or so. And I'll be able to clear up the rest of that. And that means we can get started on breaking down this other box and maybe even making a couple of new ones. We just had rain, so the chips on the back of the truck are already a little bit soaked. And it's going to make them a little bit harder to run through the peat moss spreader to sift them out. So we'll probably put that chore off for another couple of days. That's all I've got for you today, good people. As always, I hope you found today's video informative or entertaining. If you did, you know what to do. I'll catch you next time. Until then, get out there.